And to Rabbi Rebbetzin, I turn to you and I tell you something like this. If there are 4,000 Jewish students on the Binghamton campus, the Rebbe taught us, if there are 10,000 people in your community, 9,999 you touched, there is one more that you didn't, is you'll get the greatest reward. But your mission you didn't fully accomplish. Until Mr. Newman, you're going to build a place 10 times as big as this, that's going to be able to have 4,000 students on a Friday night with all of the gefilte fish and the meatballs and the knedler and the chicken soup and everything that goes together with it. Don't relax, you're not retiring. You're still in full business. You built a Holocaust memorial. I'm also a child of a survivor. My father let him live and be well, lived in a little town outside of Lublin. And aside from one brother, his whole family was decimated in Majdanek. I, though, much to my father's great chagrin, have been back to Germany many times. Because today we have, as long as there's a Jew there, it's our obligation to do something for them. And today there are 17 Chabad houses in Germany. Amongst them, the parents of Rivki who are here today. God should bless them, Rabbi Rebbetzin Sternberg and Rabbi Rebbetzin Slonim. But their son-in-law, Rabbi Yisrael Diskin, the Munich, is the head shliach in Germany. But entirely different to that, I was in Ostberlin on the day of V50. I was invited, and I went. There were kings, presidents, prime ministers, vice presidents, celebrating the day of V50, celebrating the day of the victory over the Allies. And I was standing next to the legendary leader of German Jewry, Ignaz Bubis, and he turns to me and he tells me, he says, Rabbi Moshe, mit nicht vergessen, lest we forget. And I turned to him and I said, Ignaz, what are we going to do if that we're not going to forget? And I was standing there looking, and I was thinking about my grandparents. And I was thinking about the 6 million Auschwitz, Dachau, Bergen-Belsen, Treblinka, 6 million of the greatest and the brightest Tzadikei Olam, the righteous of the generation, Hevel Tinocher Shel Beis Rabbim, Shel Yodu Chet, little children who knew no sin. And I said to them, what are we going to do that we shouldn't forget? If we're not going to educate and instill and invoke in the children of the next generation the beauty of the Jewish religion, the beauty of our traditions, the beauty of everything that their grandparents and that 6 million gave their lives for, then all of this was, God forbid, in vain. Today, dedicating this Chabad house, dedicating the Holocaust memorial, this is the greatest living testimony that he was not successful, that he did not annihilate the Jewish people. Am Yisrael Chai and Am Yisrael Chai and Am Yisrael Chai. The Jewish people live and endure forever. So, the Rebbe must be having great nachas on high. You, the parents who are here, who represent all the parents of the children, of the students, you could rest assured that you have the greatest babysitting service that you could want for your children when they are in college. You have people who you could turn to, and I'm not calling you students babies, God forbid, but to every mother, his own child, even when, I once saw a sign in the hall that says, we give credit to people 90 years and older, and then only when accompanied by a parent. The fact of the matter is that this is one of the greatest moments of any dedication that I have been to see the warmth, to see the dedication and the slonims and the love which is returned to them. So, as we stand on the threshold of the new year, I wish you all you be inscribed in the book of the life and the living for a year of peace, health, happiness, and prosperity. Shu Yiddish Chasidish Anachas to and from all your loved ones. May the Almighty grant us the wisdom, patience, kindness, and understanding to be able to withstand all the trials and tribulations we may encounter, both material as well as spiritual. When we speedily nowadays merit the true redemption of the coming of the righteous Messiah. And I will conclude with a story that I heard from a Jew in Alabama who was in a non-kosher nursing home, and he came in and he told me, he says, Rebbe, my children dumped me here. They don't even come to me on Father's Day. But he was a very, very smart Jew, and the Rebbe told me to move him over to a kosher home, to the neighborhood home in Memphis. And for a number of years till he passed on, unknown to anyone, the Rebbe paid the monthly fee for him. And he turned to me and he said to me, he says, Rebbe, what should I tell you? My grandfather used to call it the Heilige Shabbos Kodesh, the Holy, Holy Shabbos. My father called it the Heilige Shabbos, the Holy Shabbos. I call it Shabbos, the Shabbat. My son calls it Saturday. My grandchild calls it the weekend. He says, I give a shiver when I think what my great-grandchild's going to call it. And in America, they have a name for it, the day before Super Bowl Sunday. So up to all of us to raise that level of Yiddishkeit by coming here and experiencing a true Shabbos. And we have the promise of our sages that if the Jews will keep only 2 Sabbaths, Mashiach will come. May we merit speedily in our days, Lumen, that this Chabad house, together with all the Chabad houses around the world, should be transported to Jerusalem with the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu. Thank you, and God bless you all.